I'm going to jump in first into a money bag presentation that is absolutely perfect for cross-selling that you're going to want to do early in an appointment, especially an initial appointment. All right, and this is something that if you're selling over the phone or through Zoom or anything else, you can do it either way, right? Face-to-face or over the phone or through Zoom, and actually walk through it. Okay, so the way I set this up is I'll say, hey, Miss, Joe and Betty, I'm going to go over a. I want to touch on this money bag here and what that means, right? Because we look at ourselves as more of someone that is a advisor to you in several different ways, and we have clients that have experienced that there's 4 areas of concern when you're going through retirement. 4 areas that can actually remove money from your money bag. Right? 4 different pieces that can create holes in your retirement, and you can end up losing money throughout retirement, which is a major concern. That's the biggest concern that a lot of individuals have when they're going through retirement, is they're afraid of money leaking out. And it's my job to educate you today really quick on how to avoid that. All right, so is it okay if I share that with you really quick, Betty and Joe? I'll be very, very fast. Yes, okay, excellent. Okay, so the first area of concern that can really take some money away, right, is health expenses. And you guys watching will have to bear with my handwriting. Okay, I'm gonna move quick. It's not the best, but that says health expenses. All right, health-related expenses. And Joe and Betty, you've probably seen others that have had some. I mean, you may have yourself had some health-related expenses, some health conditions come up, and health expenses can drastically reduce the amount of money available for retirement, because that can rack up and grow very quickly. All right. So I'm talking about the concern, but then I'm going to actually ask them about that. Right. That's a great time to transition into Medicare. Okay. So I'll ask them. All right. Joe and Betty, what do you have now? Health insurance for under 65, right, through work, or what do you have if you're over 65 to help with those health expenses, to make sure that money doesn't leak out, right? What do you currently have? So this is a great fact-finding presentation to figure out those main concerns and those main things that can remove money from that money bag. Okay, so that's the first piece, health expenses. Okay, and then I'll tell them, okay, Joe and Betty, the second piece, and I'm fact-finding and making notes in each area. Again, I don't have time to go through a full presentation of this, but I'm going to go through as fast as I can. Okay, the second piece. Okay, Joe and Betty is final expenses, right? And leaving a legacy to your family, to your kids, to your grandkids, right? And those things can take out money bag, can take money out of your money bag before you're able to even pass it on, which isn't good and isn't fun. What do you currently have, right? And you could get into estate taxes and other stuff depending on type of appointment, right? I'm just summarizing, you get the idea. And that's where we'll transition into actually talking specifically about life insurance, right? Joe and Betty, what do you currently have to help offset some of these costs that are definitely going to come up in the future? Right? Ask a question, do some fact finding, make some notes. Okay, so then we'll transition to the third piece. I'll tell, okay, Joe and Betty, the third piece is something that a lot of people have concerns about. Right, and it's in relation to long-term care. Joe and Betty, about 70% of seniors over the age of 65 end up needing long-term care at some point in the future, whether that be assisted living, nursing home, or home health care. What do you currently have? And this is a big piece, by the way, right? And this is a huge piece, Joe and Betty, that's very concerning for a lot of people. Is it a concern of yours? And what do you currently have to offset some of those expenses and costs and money that may come out of that money back, right? Talk about it, express the concern, ask a question, do some fact finding, and then you can actually end up selling a long-term care policy, hybrid life and long-term care policy, etc., right? And then the last piece, Joe and Betty, that can remove money out of your money bag and is a very big concern, right? It's a very big concern, is also taxes and income. Right? Taxes and income. This is big because a lot of people have money set aside for retirement, as I'm sure you do too, but they are worried that it's not going to last long enough. or they're worried that because they're getting a low rate of return at the bank, or because they never rolled over the 401k from work, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, or they got money in the market that may be volatile, they're worried about some of these things happening to them. What do you currently have in place, right, that you're trying to make that money last as long as possible? Right? Okay, some additional fact finding. That's where you can actually get into looking into some annuities. Okay, so this is called the money bag presentation. Some of you may have seen it before. I did not invent it. I've added some of my own twist when I'm actually in front of someone with a actual presentation. I went through it for about 6 minutes now. Okay, but this is something that is perfect for fact finding and looking for some of those cross-selling opportunities, all right? Cross-selling opportunities, okay? So this is the money bag presentation. Now I want to jump into the 4 steps to the sell, okay? 4 steps to the sell for those that do not know, or maybe you're newer, or maybe you're curious on what that looks like, all right? So we're talking about like a lot of life insurance, Medicare type appointments. There's 4 steps to the sell, in my opinion. Everything I do, I try to keep it very simple. 1, so that it's duplicatable, that no matter who is going to do it or use it, it's duplicatable so that you can transfer that knowledge into someone else, okay? Or that your whole team can get to where you use it, right? So the first step of the 4 steps to the sell is the warm-up. The warm-up. The warm-up is a time where you can really get to know them, build rapport. If you're not sure what to ask, there's old words like form or forward, right? And not found on road dead, okay? Family, occupation, recreation, and desires. Or there's an old form, family, occupation, recreation, and then into the message, okay? So warming up is still a crucial part of the appointment process. It allows you, because if you think about it, a sell involves someone knowing, liking, and trusting you. If they don't, you may know them, but if they don't know you, how can they actually really know, like, and trust you, right? That's why I love a little bit of give and take. They share, you share, and really slow down and spend some time and be patient and really spend some time in this warm-up portion of the appointment, all right? Step 2, that's where we're moving into actual fact finding. That's where you could plug in that money bag presentation. That's where, let's just say that you're selling Medicare, for example, right? You need to know, what they currently have, right? So you can start to fact find for other products. You can look at current coverage, right? What they're currently paying. You can dive into health, right? Anything that you need to know to actually move into presenting a solution. This is the portion of the presentation that you want to slow down and ask those questions and get to know them, right? That's the fact-finding portion of the appointment, okay? The fact-finding portion of the appointment, all right? The third step is actually moving into presenting and closing. Now, I've got about 2,000 videos on YouTube, and some have to do with this. We also got a CA sales system, sales training platform for teams and individuals that goes over this specific piece of step 3, right? So what I do though, when I do the present and close, it's a little different than most, all right? I think I've probably made this my own over the years. The first piece is I am going over 5 benefits of what we offer. Okay, 5 different benefits. And again, you can check out some of our stuff. We've got 17,000, 18,000 agents that follow our YouTube channel, at Cody Askins on YouTube. We put out videos literally almost every single day. Okay, so 5 benefits, then 9 trial closes. Okay, 9 trial closes. And then we're moving into presenting 3 options, right? That's if you're selling Medicare and there is only one good solution, or maybe you want to, offer 2, that's okay too, right? And there's some psychology behind some of these things, but getting a lot of those, getting the benefits out, right? There needs to be value when you're selling something. The trial closes to create some engagement. Some of those trial closes, some back and forth, some of those yeses along the way. Okay, so they're a part of the process, and it's just not you, preaching at them. And then 3 options so that you're actually providing a couple options. Most people, 80% of the time, they pick the one in the middle, right? I also want to go from largest to smallest, not smallest to largest, largest to smallest, okay? Largest to smallest. And then I also want to get to where, there's some psychology in the way that you actually position your options as well. Okay, again, I don't have enough time today, but we can get into that at a future date. Okay, so, and then the fourth piece is most people forget about this. It's called the cool down, okay? And when you're doing the cool down, this is where I'll make some notes on the side in relation to the cool down. When you're doing the cool down, this is in regards to, finalizing the app. Okay, this is where you can actually confirm that they saw value, see if they have any questions, explain the next steps, move into asking for a referral. And I'm going to give you my specific referral question, okay? Also, after referral, you can get into where you actually leave a business card magnet, or business card. I'm not as big of a fan of business cards as most people are nowadays. And then you're actually finishing with actually cooling down, right? It's the warm up in reverse so that you're coming off of business for a good 5-10 minutes. Hey, what's the weather going to be like? What are you doing the rest of the week? Do your grandkids live close? What do you like to do for fun, right? Start to ask some of those questions at the end to really slow down and to come off of business so that when you leave, they're not thinking about the sell. They're thinking about, oh, what a nice person, that guy or gal was, because they spent some time to really get to know me. Okay, and if you take them off of business, when you leave, the psychology is maybe they won't come back and start talking about business because you already took them off of the topic. Okay, so again, some psychology there. Hey, if you love this video and you want to be successful, but you want to continue to learn, I got 5 books you absolutely have to read, all right? They're right there. Click on that video. I'll tell you the 5 books you got to read right now. See you over there. When you're thinking about that, start to think about, okay, having a different mindset and choosing to grab one nugget. You just need one idea to really